Tomorrow is the 8th public hearing of the January 6th committee. It'll happen in prime time, but so many of you have asked me, what's the point? I want to thank my TikTok subscribers for voting on this story for me to cover as a bonus this week. Now, I've told you since this committee was announced, this bipartisan panel of House lawmakers does not have the ability to criminally punish anyone for actions surrounding the January 6th attack if evidence is uncovered. That doesn't mean, though, no one will be punished. I'll get back to that in a second. But first, back to the point of this whole thing. According to the legislation that established the House Select Committee, its purpose is to do three things: investigate and report on the facts and causes related to January 6th as they relate to the interference with the peaceful transfer of power. 2, identify the causes of and any lessons learned from that attack. And 3, issue a final report with findings, conclusions, and recommendations for corrective measures that may include changes in law, policy, procedures, rules, or regulations. The bottom line is, as with most congressional committees, there are two functions: create a record and provide recommendations. Those both will be accomplished through this final report. But why does it matter? Well, first let's talk about the recommendations. When this is all said and done, it is very likely the committee will point out weaknesses in existing laws and procedures and suggest legislative reforms or changes. Things like changes to the electoral process law and security protocols for Capitol Hill. Now, Congress can either accept those recommendations or not. Getting a law passed is not part of the committee's job. Then there's the history piece. As with all congressional reports like this one, the government is really big on keeping a record of things. This committee's final report will serve as and will be maintained as the official account of what happened on January 6th and how it came to be. Now back to the potential criminal charges. From one perspective, this entire series of public hearings can be interpreted as a lengthy criminal referral to the Justice Department, or at the bare minimum, like a nudge to the Attorney General. However, the fact is the Justice Department does not need a referral from Congress or anyone else to charge crimes. DOJ has its own power to do that all by itself. And it's worth noting the Justice Department has already charged more than 800 people with crimes related to the attack on the Capitol. But so far, only 2 people who are part of the former president's inner circle have been charged. Both have been charged with contempt of Congress. One is Steve Bannon, who is on trial right now in Washington, D.C. The other is Peter Navarro, whose trial was just scheduled for November.